Welcome back to His and Her Homestead. Today I was wanting to show you guys how I made my bird water. And we use it for quail, but it'll work for any size bird really. Because if quail are big enough to activate it, then anything can, and it drops pretty good drops. I'm making this one for a friend of ours. So what you need is some sort of bucket, plastic bucket with a lid, a sealable lid. And we get these from Walmart slash Sam's Club, and they're about $1 depending on which Walmart you go to. They kind of all have weird prices. You have to go to the bakery and ask for them. You also need some water nipples, and we get these off of Amazon or eBay. They're on both, and they are called VK Tech 50-piece water poultry supplies. Water nipples poultry supplies. And we've used quite a few of these, and they work great. They leak a little bit, but not bad. I mean, if you're using a 5-gallon bucket, you're not going to have leak issues that are enough to make a difference. So it's really easy to do. The drill bit is a 25/64, and the reason we went with this drill bit is because that's the closest size to the metric, because these are Chinese nipples that come straight from China, so you have to get a metric drill bit, and we didn't want to waste the time trying to find a metric one, so we got the closest standard one. So 25/64, and we're going to just use this regular battery operated drill. So first thing you do, put your drill bit in, check your bucket, make sure it's going to work for you. We like these because they're square and they're food grade. So you're going to flip your bucket over, and we're going to use 4 nipples. And the reason we use 4 nipples is not because 4 birds are going to drink out of it at one time, but because if 2 of them clog, you still have 2 as a backup. So what I like to do is I just kind of get a couple inches from the corner, or an inch or 2 from the corner, and I hold it. And this is a really sharp drill bit. The reason I don't drill through it fast is because I am purposefully slowing it down. I don't want to punch through it too fast, because with this soft plastic, instead of cutting a circle, it'll actually cut like the shape of the tip of the drill bit, like a bow tie type shape, and it'll just pull the bit through, and you'll get a real ugly cut. So I'm going to go ahead and drill the other 3 holes. Just like that. That's what you don't want to do. I'm going to have to clean that up with an X-Acto. Not a big deal, but it just saves you time if you don't have to do that. Now we have more advanced techniques we use for if we want to have pipe and stuff hooked up to it to run down and have the bucket kind of elevated up out of the way, but we'll cover that in a different video. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to take a knife or an X-Acto knife. Okay, for the last hole, I went ahead and did the other 3 just so you guys didn't have to deal with the boredom of watching that, but I'm just cleaning off the high spots of this plastic real lightly with this sharp knife, like that. And you can do it easier with a razor blade, but I wanted to show off my Sweetmore knife. So we clean that up, and it doesn't have to be perfect because these nipples have an O-ring on them. See that clear O-ring? And it actually does seal pretty good. So then you just put a little pressure, not a ton, and just screw it down. It'll torque right into place, and you don't have to have any wrenches or tools to do this. torquing it in place, and I don't use any sealers on it because you don't have to. That O-ring works good enough. The reason we're putting these on the bottom is because they only work if they're held straight down. If you turn them sideways, the way the valve works, it'll leak the whole time and it won't ever hold water. But then they just come up and hit these, and you can either hang it from the holes in the bucket, or you can put it on a 2x4 right here between the nipples. Either way is fine, but there it is. And these things, they work great, but just check them every once in a while. You don't want to end up with your birds completely out of water. What else do we have? Oh, it only took about 10 minutes altogether to do the whole thing. It took me longer to find my drill bits. These nipples are like 12 bucks for a 50 pack, and so they're super cheap. So this thing probably cost me like $1.25, $1.30. So that's it. Comment or subscribe. Ask us if you have any questions. Advantages to quail, but I wanted to show you how this water works and that it works. There's my quail going to town on it. And there's the quail in the feeder. Okay, I'll go inside and explain it to you. Look at that. Active little birds. Getting a little feed, getting a little water.